Welcome everybody to another episode of Frickin' Delicious. I'm your host, Nick L. We got a perfectly splendid day out here in Massachusetts in the summer. It's the best day we've had in a while to be grilling and chilling. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make some good old-fashioned chicken wings right here on the grill. I'm super pumped about it, and you should be too. We got a hell of a show in store for you. Alright, so first thing I'm going to show you before we get to the chicken wings is how to make the sauce that we'll be using for the chicken wings, because you want to have something to dip them in. And so we're going to be making a nice cilantro lime sauce to go with our chicken wings. Now I went ahead and just washed this bunch of cilantro right here, and we're going to take the whole thing and stick it right in the blender here. Okay, and then we got about I'd say a third or so of an onion, and that's just gonna go right in here too. We're going to juice a full lime right into here. Just gonna get some fresh lime juice right in there. Okay, so that's one half and the other. It's a big lime, so there we go. Nice. Next, we're gonna do a big scoop of some fat-free Greek yogurt. Okay, so that's going in there. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. And then we got some vegan mayo, so 1 scoop of that. Okay. Now we just want to add our spices. So we got the Goya adobo here. We talked about this before on the show. It won't be the last time we talk about it. If you don't have the Goya adobo right now, I mean, like, what are you even doing? So I'm gonna go ahead and put now a little does go a long way, so just a few shakes of that. All right, and some black ground pepper. We're gonna do a few shakes of that too. Nice and spicy. So now we're just gonna blend this up. Alright, now that we got this all blended up, we're just gonna pour it right in this bowl here. That is looking good, nice consistency of the sauce there, and we're just gonna cover it and stick it in the fridge and let it chill until we're ready to use it. Alright, so now we're getting ready to prep the chicken here. I'm just gonna throw a little olive oil on it, probably like a tablespoon for all this chicken, and then we just want to rub the chickens around in the olive oil. So, and I'm just gonna a little bit, perfect, and we just want to rub them down in this oil, spread the oil around, and once we do that, we're gonna lay them out so we can spice them up. All right, now we got these fine chicken wings here rubbed down in the olive oil. I use olive oil because these are going to be on the grill for a while, and the oil really stands up to high temperatures, the olive oil, so that's the reason for that. Now these are all spread out and ready to be spiced up. Here's the arsenal of spices that we're going to be working with today. Now we got the Mexicali savory seasoning. This is gonna give it a little kick. Now I like things to be actually very spicy, but my camera woman here does not, so we're gonna go with a mild level of spiciness for these chicken wings. We have the maple garlic chipotle chili rub, the Texas two-step mesquite rub, some basil ginger garlic, Of course, some smoked paprika. That goes well on pretty much everything, the smoked paprika. Um, and now, my seasonings, they all come from Saltbox Seasoning. Right here, you can see Saltbox Seasonings. They are a small business, I think, located out of Western Mass, and they make all of their seasonings handmade. You can go to saltboxseasonings.com to order some up. Everything they make is fantastic. Or you can send an email to Tina at saltboxseasonings.com. She is excellent to work with. Tell her Nick sent you. Now, the other great thing about Saltbox Seasonings is that you can get all of their seasonings, any one of them, they'll make as salt-free, which is really important. And I'll tell you about why that is while I'm spicing these up here. So, with salt-free seasonings, it makes it so that you can put as much of the seasoning on as you want to really get the full flavorfulness out of your food, and without having to worry about over salting it. Because once you over salt your food, it's really hard to come back from that. So that's why I like to use salt-free seasonings. And the other good thing about it is you can really control the amount of salt that you're putting in your food. You can see all the salt that you're putting into it. And it also makes it so that you can use some fancy salts, like this fine whiskey smoked Irish sea salt. So you can put as much of that as you want in there, which I would do probably about 2 teaspoons for about this much chicken. And you just grind it up in your fingers as you're adding it on. Go. Now, one of my fans asked me to be a little more specific about how much of each ingredient I'm putting in my food. It's tough to do that with spices. I think you really got to just feel it out. Like, whatever you're feeling, that's probably the right amount to use. Cooking is not a perfect science. It's an imperfect science of love, and you just gotta feel the love. And that's really all I can say about that. Okay, so now we gotta get this maple garlic chipotle chili rub in here. Absolutely. Texas two-step mesquite. Yup. Okay, basil, ginger, garlic. Alright, and then we'll get the smoked paprika on there as well. Now, next we just have to basically flip all these chicken wings over and spice them up the same way that we did on this side. I'll check back in with you once I'm done with that. Alright, so these are fully spiced up now. They are covered, and that's what you want. You want that full flavor in your food. Again, we're using salt-free spices, so you don't have to worry about it being too salty or anything like that. These are going to be bursting with all the right flavors that you want. Now on this show, it's all about what we're cooking, but sometimes it's also about what we're drinking. And so for this show, where we're making today some good old-fashioned chicken wings, I figured I'd show you how to make an old-fashioned. And for that, we're going to need some whiskey. And today it is this High West Double Rye Barrel Select Whiskey. Now, contrary to the name, the Double Rye, it actually doesn't taste that heavy on the rye. This profiles as more of a sweet whiskey, but you can still taste a little smokiness from the charred American oak barrels. Now, this Barrel Select edition, this is a limited release for Total Wine. It is finished for a year in a rum barrel, which also adds to the sweetness of it. Now I have been actually to the High West Distillery in Park City, Utah. It is one of the most magical places on earth. If you ever get a chance to go, be sure you do it. All right, time to make an old fashioned. So you're gonna start out with a rocks glass with a big ice cube. Now if you don't have a big ice cube, just use the biggest one that you got. We're gonna go with just 1 squirt of simple syrup here. 1, okay, don't want too much of that in there. And it's gonna be a pour of 8 to 10 counts on the whiskey. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, just like that. And 2 to 3 dashes of bitters. I'm using orange bitters here. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead. Hot. And you gotta stir it with a bar spoon 20 times. Okay. Very nice. All right, and lastly, you're gonna garnish it with an orange peel. I just took a peeler and peeled it right off here, and then I twisted it all up into a spiral like this, all fancy like. Now you just wanna place this right on the top of the drink as the garnish. That's going to express the essence of the flavors from the oils of the back of the peel right over the top of the drink. And that's all you want to do. Let's go ahead and take a little sip. Oh yeah, we got ourselves a good old-fashioned rock and roll. The Weber, dude. 700 degrees of fire and fury. All right, it's time. We got the Weber. She is roaring right now. She is purring, but we want to go ahead and cool her on down here. We want to deheat this grill, unheat this grill. I'm not sure exactly how you say it, but you want to cool it on down. So here we go. So now we're just gonna go ahead and open this up. It's gonna start to let the heat out. Right, we're gonna turn all the burners down, very, very low. We're gonna turn the sear zone off because we don't need that. This is going on low. Okay, now we're gonna be cooking these chickens slow and low, maybe 40 minutes or so, right? We want it to be cooked all the way through, but we're cooking it on low because we don't want to burn them. All right, we want them to be well browned and like a little charred because we're going for crispiness, but we don't want them to be burnt. Now, there is nothing in the world of food that is worse than a soggy chicken wing. I won't have it on my show. I don't want you or whoever you're cooking for to have to endure that. No soggy chicken wings. We want nice and crispy. So we're gonna be throwing these on here, and then we're gonna be constantly turning them throughout the 40 minutes or so, you know, so that they get crisped up, but they're not burning. All right, well, stay tuned. All right. So we are a little over 10 minutes in or so, and we went ahead and flipped all of these. And as you can see, we're starting to get some nice grill marks. They are crisping up. They are browning up real nice, but we went ahead and flipped them so, you know, they don't get burnt or anything. You might also notice we added ourselves a couple little hot dogs up there, just a little snack for the chef. Not much to cooking hot dogs, so don't worry too much about that. All right, so we're just gonna let these keep sizzling away, slow and low, and they're gonna be real nice. All right, so we're about halfway through right now. We're gonna check in on these. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and flip them. Now, the smaller ones, we wanna move to a cooler part of the grill on the Weber. That tends to be closer to the front, so we're gonna, you know, move the smaller ones closer to the front, and we're gonna We're gonna flip them. Okay. Yeah, this tiny little guy right here, he's already in the front. Right, any other smaller ones? We're gonna get to the front. You know, they ain't got a lot of meat on them, so we don't want them burning away or whatever. And the bigger ones in the front, we'll go ahead and flip and move closer to the center. Alright, so like I said, you know, we're about halfway through at this point, so these smaller ones will just be hanging up here and bigger ones towards the back. We're gonna keep flipping them and checking in on them. Right on. All right, about 3/4 of the way through right now. We're just gonna go ahead and walk them up here and check out what's going on, what we're working with, Okay, so by now we've moved most of the chicken wings, especially the youngins right here, up to the front because that's the coolest part of the grill and we don't want to burn nothing. Now if you take a close look, you can see that they are browning up, they are crisping up, just absolutely, positively gorgeously. You know, nothing is burning right now. We're gonna go ahead and flip them. Yeah, especially check on these ones in the back here. Oh, that is just what you want to see. Okay, and we're gonna finish everything off here for another 10 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna show you what you're gonna do. But these are just looking pretty fantastic. All right. Alright, so we're about 10 minutes away, 10 to 15 of them being finished, and we just want to go ahead and move these up to right here. So go ahead and zoom in on these. Samantha, if you will. By the way, big shout out to my camera woman, Samantha. She's also my fiance, and she's doing a fantastic job, wouldn't you say? Okay, so now we're just gonna go ahead and move these up to finish them off. Just put them on the top rack, get them off the direct heat of the grill, and you know, they're just gonna absorb a little more heat, but they will not burn. They will be finished, they will be crispy, they will be nice. What more can you ask for? By the way, these hot dogs though. 40 minutes is up. I'm just giving these puppies maybe 5 minutes more on the top rack just to absorb the smoke from the grill right there. And we're about ready to rock and roll. Okay, 45, 50 minutes in, and look at what we have here. Don't go anywhere because we're about to have our final look. Now, if these ain't the best looking chicken wings you've ever seen, I would ask you to please drop me a photo in the comments so that I know what those look like. I'm gonna go ahead and grab one right here, and we're gonna just go ahead and dip it right in to our cilantro lime sauce, okay? And take a bite. It's crispy. It's juicy. It's flavorful. I ain't gonna lie to you. I never would. I'm Nick L, and these are freaking delicious.